Turn the water off, Mason. Hey, you guys. Stuart Pillow, on the most targeted citizen. I am tuckered, snookered, and pluckered out. Had a great church service today. I mean, I must have been praying in the spirit for 30 minutes straight. It was on. Having a revival at my church, Old Lebanon Dirt Road, Mount Juliet, Tennessee. If you want to show up, gonna have a revival until God says stop. Have deliverance service every Sunday night. You need to get that evil stuff off of it, because everybody's got some kind of satanic cloud hanging over their body. Today, after the great church service, came out here and threw the ball with Mason. Coach wants to make him a pitcher. It's pretty fast progression, but got done doing that, threw the ball here for an hour, and then I started on the beast. Made one mistake today, and the mistake I made was told Mason to measure the brake line. We had a brake line, another brake line for the rear. I said, measure it. He's like, oh yeah, the new one's big, it's long, it's great. So I went through the trouble of breaking loose that old, frail metal brake line to find out that the rubber one is the exact same length. So I got to put all that together, all the brake fluid from my master cylinder to wear it all the way out. But as of right now, we don't have Squarebody Blues. She is lifted, boys and girls. She's off the ground. She is level. That's the way she's supposed to sit. I've got to order the 2 shock bolts. I got them out, but I don't know how to get the bolts through the urethane bushings for my new shocks. So that's going to be a problem. But this is the Squarebody. No more blues. Got it all together. It was actually really easy getting the leaf springs back in, and as you can see, the hardware, everything looks good because it's clean. Got the wheels on. When we're tightening this back side, one of the lug nuts, one of the lugs just spun free. So I'm going to have to dress that, but I was going to go ahead and, before I put the wheels on, I was going to paint it and get it done, but I was just eager to see what it looks like, and it is a massive improvement. Now, for an old man like me, I'm going to have to climb in it. I'm going to have to make a step for it to get in and out of it. It's about 3 inches taller than my Bronco. We went ahead and put the winter rubber in, or the door rubber. It's old and it's seen better days, so it's shrunk a little bit, but making progress. I got to put pins and bushings in this door. Probably need a whole new door. But as far as suspension goes, the only thing left to do now, and listen guys, I can raise this thing another. I mean, as far as much room as I've got on my U-bolts, I've got 2.5 inches still on the U-bolts to go. So I can make a bigger block for the front and the rear. I can go up another 3 inches with this truck. I can make it 3 inches taller. It's not necessary. I think that looks good. I've got a Jeep light bar back there. Next week I'm going to drag it out when my truck's ain't in the way. I'm going to drag it out and bring it up here and see what it's going to take to cut it. I think I'm going to have to widen it because I'm going to put a set of the old set of lights on the top. I tell you what kind they are, but my mind is so fried right now. You know the lights I'm talking about, you old redneck fellers. But she's got the rebel flag colors, just like on my arm. So we'll have a couple of rebel flags on it. So yeah, we'll have the lights on the top. I've got to get the brake line hooked back up. I've got to get the bolt, the shouldered bolt to put the front steering shock on. I need the 2 bolts that hold the shocks on the rear. So we'll get my heavy duty shocks on the back. I'll get the heavy duty shocks on the front for the steering. Get this brake line fixed. I've already rerouted this. I've already replaced both brake lines on the front. The metal and the rubber are brand new. I got that one come from here all the way down to here, and this one from here all the way to there. All that's done. So new shocks, new brake lines, new rubber lines, tie rod ends, 4 tie rod ends. Got these Super Swampers. They look worn out, but Super Swampers last forever. It's a good hard tire. It ain't gonna do worth a crap on probably climbing mountains and stuff. It probably won't do any good. especially with this very, very weak 305 that's in it. But as I said, next step is I got to find a radiator. I'm going to attempt to fix this. It's got a small leak in it. I'm going to attempt to solder it up. If I can't solder it up, then I'll just buy one. I think I can get one for like $100, $125, money I don't have. And then, once we get the radiator in it and get the brakes working, I'm going to go ahead, of course, touch up everything that's missing or any scratches on the suspension. I'm going to go ahead and tractor paint it the way it should be. I still haven't put grease in the front end yet. That's going to come before it goes on the road. But the next thing is we're going to pull it over here. I'm going to hook it to the tree. I'm going to chain the center of the frame to this tree. We did this with my Cadillac when remember when Tina hit my Cadillac in the middle of the driveway? I missed that car. Pull it up here. Probably going to get my Ranger because I don't want to risk the chain breaking and tearing up my truck. But we're going to get it and we're going to hook a chain probably right here at the front corner first. And we're going to have the body over here. We're going to hook a chain here to the tree. When we do that, we're going to take this corner right here and we're going to snatch it. We're going to yank it and see if we can get it to come over. Because you can see the gap in that bed. We got to move it about 1 inch. It is exactly ½ an inch more from center of wheel to center of wheel than it is on the other side. So it's moved this far. The front end is knocked over really far on this side. So we're going to snatch it, whack, and hopefully pull it back into shape. Where it's weakened the frame at, the little bend, it's got a little ripple in the frame right beside the transmission. I'm going to take some probably 1/4 inch flat steel or 3/8 flat steel, box the frame in right there where it bent. I'm going to box it in right there and box it in on the other side just to try to strengthen it. But this right here has to move over here about that much more. So this right here where the radiator support is, it's got to be here. That's how far we got to move it. I do not have a bumper yet. If anybody out there in the audience wants to bring me a bumper and a valance panel, the little header panel that goes across the front here, I need that. But we got all that. I'm going to need the bolts that go through this little bushing, this big hard bushing here. I need those bolts, and I need a bumper for it. Any bumper will do, even one of those big redneck bar bumpers. I don't care what it looks like. This is our redneck mobile. That's it. For the novice out there, because listen, I'm broke down. My body's trashed. I'm old, fat. I'm in gravel. If I were healthy and I had concrete, I could have done this lift by myself probably in 3 5-hour days. 3 5 hours. And the hardest part about this one has been buying the part here and buying the part. See, I'm still buying parts. So I'm gonna have a lot more in the lift than I initially thought. I mean, I will say now, it is impossible to buy a lift kit, a 6-inch lift kit, for a square body truck for $100 like it's advertised online. I did not get my money's worth. I did not get $100 on a lift kit, but I did good. I think I've got right at $600 or $700 in the lift kit itself. I got $250 in the wheels and tires. So if you were paying a company to do this, how much they said they were going to charge me? I think $500 or $600 just to put the lift on. And if you buy this lift, the super lift, they're anywhere from $900 to $1,200 online. So I've got $600, $650 in it. Almost all the parts are new. I didn't replace all the bushings for the leaf springs, but they're all in really good condition. It is what it is. The next thing I'll have to do to it is it'll have to go to an alignment shop, and I'll get them to do the ball joint here. If you can see where it's tilted in just a hair, we may be able to get that with an alignment. I hope. I got it as tight as I can, but hopefully an alignment can bring it back. It's got too much camber. So it is what it is. The suspension is all refurbished. The only thing else that probably needs to be done suspension wise would be to replace every metal line on this truck. That's why I've had to be so careful. I didn't want to do that because you can really get in a mess. Just replacing the two up front, you know, it's not that big a deal, but it's a pain in the butt because I don't think that you can order them pre-bent because you just got to bend them all the way and you really got to be careful. But This is the Redneck Riot. This is the cure for your square body blues. I'm Stuart Pidlaw, the most targeted citizen. Like, share, and subscribe. Pray for me. Pray for my family. Pray for your perpetrators. Pray for America. We're in trouble. You need Jesus. I need Jesus. My truck needs Jesus. God bless.